Hello, how's it going, ladies and gentlemen? This is Retroplex, and welcome back to another late game review. Recently, I just finished playing Sonic Unleashed, and it wouldn't be possible without the Unleashed recompiled fan-made PC port that came out back in March, and it runs really f***ing good. I already made a separate video talking about Unleashed recompiled, so if you want to go check it out, the link will be in the description below. And while you're down there, feel free to comment below on what you think of Sonic Unleashed, and hit the like button below if you enjoyed the video. And if you want more videos like these, feel free to hit the subscribe button and the bell icon so you'll get notified when I upload. I appreciate it a ton. Now without further ado, let's talk about Sonic Unleashed. The graphics in this game just looks beautiful. If I didn't know a thing about Unleashed, and if you were to tell me that this game came out in 2008, I would not believe you at all. This game was really ahead of its time when it comes to the graphics, the character models, and the cutscenes. The opening cutscene looks something straight out of a movie. That's how good the animation looks. It would be amazing to see a Sonic movie with this type of animation. It's just pure eye candy. This game is technically the first Sonic game that includes the boost formula, if you don't count the Sonic Rush games on the DS. The boost works so well with the levels that it became a staple for most of the remaining 3D Sonic games. Oh, and speaking of levels, they cooked with these levels in Unleashed. When it comes to the aesthetics, the music, and the platforming, with Windmill Isle, Rooftop Run, Dragon Road, this game does an excellent job showcasing the different stages and hub worlds, taking inspirations from different countries. We got Apodos based off of Greece, Spagonia based off of Italy, Missouri from Africa, Boloska, Chunan, Shamar, Empire City, Adabat, and Eggman Land. It's pretty fun exploring these different areas, completing missions assigned by the NPCs and buying souvenirs from the gift shops. There's also the hot dog missions, where in each country you talk to the vendor and he'll assign you a mission where you replay one of the stages, each with a different objective, whether that's completing the stage within the time limit or collecting a certain amount of rings. If you complete the mission, the vendor will reward you with glizzies that will increase your EXP to level your stats for both Sonic and the Werehog. Oh, and speaking of the Werehog, that's what Sonic transforms into when Eggman releases the Dark Gaia. Sonic only transforms during the night. Hedgehog by day, Werehog by night. And the Werehog's moveset is much different, as Sonic doesn't have his boost or homing attacks, and is replaced with super strength to fight off enemies. And he has the ability to elongate his arms to reach certain ledges or poles that Sonic can't do on a regular basis. And that's where the nighttime stages come to play, which completely changes the gameplay and the pacing to best suit Werehog Sonic. And unfortunately, that is what people criticize this game for. The Werehog. For most Sonic players who are so used to fast-pacing levels with the quick-time events and the
Ha! Oh! Huh! Let's go! Oh! Uh-oh! Whew! Dang!
Yeah, you're not getting that in the Werehog stages. The pacing and combat of these stages are much slower due to the Werehog's mechanics, and Sonic does sound a bit different too.
Ha! Ow! I know little girls who are better with a hammer than you! Well, one anyway.
Even the music is toned down to be more fitting. Oh, and the timer, that's also removed. And his boost gauge is replaced with a health gauge. You'll encounter a ton of enemies, and every time you encounter these enemies, this unnecessary, stupid-ass jazz music plays in the background, like that's gonna motivate the players to defeat them. The combat of the Werehog definitely does require a lot of spamming with the buttons. There's also different combo attacks you'll unlock as you progress throughout the game. But if you were to ask me what I think of the Werehog stages, I honestly didn't really have much of an issue with them. Do I think that the stages were pretty frustrating for some parts and that the controls were janky? Yes. Do I think that the Werehog deserved all the hate he got and he should be thrown in the Shadow Realm? No, not really. But for the story of Sonic Unleashed, I think the aspect of the Werehog works for this game. Would I want the Werehog to return for any future Sonic games? No. You know, as a matter of fact, I think the Werehog should be sent to the Shadow Realm. This Sonic game has by far the greatest opening cutscene of all time, with Sonic losing to Eggman and Eggman unleashes Dark Gaia, which causes the world to split apart. Eggman releasing Dark Gaia also transforms Sonic into the Werehog. Sonic finds himself in Apodos, where he meets this little amnesiac chihuahua who he calls him Chip. Sonic agrees to help Chip regain his memories while Sonic is going back and forth to his Hedgehog and Werehog transformations, and Chip gets distracted by ice cream sundaes and dancing pedestrians. Sonic and Chip then meets up with Tails, explains all the shit has been happening, and Tails insists that they go to Spagonia to ask this goofy-looking old man named Professor Pickle for help, only to find out that Professor Pickle got kidnapped by Eggman, so now they have to go rescue the professor. And when they rescue him, Professor Pickle is so unfazed that Eggman locked him in a cell, but is inconvenienced that the sandwiches that Eggman provided him didn't meet his expectations. Who does he think he is? Gordon Ramsay? Yeah, apparently he likes his sandwiches with bread that is no more than 3/4 of an inch thick. Upon it,
1 tablespoon of mayonnaise, and a pinch of black pepper. And the contents: fresh cucumber, sliced thinly, if you please.
I hope you enjoy my Professor Pickle impression. I've poured many hours on it. Okay, that's not true. It only took me a few minutes. Anyways, they save the professor. He then yaps about the Dark Gaia manuscripts and tells Sonic and Chip that they have to go to the Gaia temples and restore the power of each of the Chaos Emeralds and rebuild the Earth. And that's when the duo explore all the other countries and they head to each temple. And as they head to the temple in Adabat, Chip regains his memories and tells Sonic that his real name is Light Gaia, and the reason he lost his memories is because he and Dark Gaia were asleep for millions of years, and they were awakened by Eggman when he split the planet. And that's when we get this very heartfelt moment between Sonic and Chip, as Chip tells Sonic how much fun he's had with him exploring the world, and he thanks Sonic for helping him get his memory back. And as Chip is about to part ways with Sonic, Sonic stops Chip and he insists on continuing to help Chip out without having to need a reason to do so. This probably has been my favorite cutscene in this game. I really love how well Sonic is written in this game, and I think this is Jason Griffith at his peak performance. It's just so good. Then Sonic and Chip pull up to Eggman Land to restore the last Chaos Emerald, which was built on top of the temple. Oh, and let me tell ya, the Eggman Land level has to be the longest, most fatiguing level I have ever played in any Sonic game. Yeah, you might as well call Eggman Land Endurance Land. It starts off with regular Sonic doing his regular old Sonic stuff, and then there's an hourglass waiting for you. You hit it and you transform into the Werehog to do all the combats and shit, until you switch back into Hedgehog Sonic. And it's just basically just back and forth between Hedgehog and Werehog Sonic. My first time playing this level, it took me over 30 minutes to complete, and I'm pretty sure I died at least 20 something times. I don't know how much exactly. I genuinely cannot tell whether or not to enjoy this level or absolutely fucking despise this level to death, because for the final level taking place in Eggman Land, created by Eggman, who's the main antagonist that loves to torture you, it works. Oh, and can I just say how threatening and menacing Dr. Eggman is in this game? His motivation in this story is just phenomenal, with him destroying the Earth with Dark Gaia and nearly killing Sonic, and to top it all off, he builds an entire theme park on top of the temple just to torture Sonic. Eggman was not holding back. It's not even funny. I think it's safe to say that this game and the Sonic Adventure games are Eggman in his prime. Oh, and can't forget about the boss fights in this game too. I think the bosses for both Hedgehog and Werehog Sonic are really good. We got the Egg Beetle, Dark Gaia Phoenix, Egg Devil Ray, Dark Moray, Dark Guardian, Egg Lancer, Egg Dragoon, and we got Dark Gaia as the final boss. The final boss for Unleashed is split into 2 phases. Phase 1 is when Sonic loses his Werehog form for good and Chip transforms into the Gaia Colossus. I'm not gonna lie, I don't really like Phase 1 that much. You play as Gaia Colossus and you have to reach Dark Gaia while dodging its attacks. The pacing can definitely be much faster because I feel like the pacing is definitely dragged along. Then it switches over to Sonic inside of Gaia Colossus and you have to avoid the obstacles to reach the end to aim for Dark Gaia's eye. And it's just rinse and repeat 2 more times. Sonic's parts in phase 1 of this boss can be so fucking tricky because you're on a strict time limit of 30 seconds, so you have to react pretty quickly. And after phase 1 is done, Dark Gaia transforms into Perfect Dark Gaia, and Sonic retrieves all 7 emeralds and transforms into Super Sonic. Phase 2 is definitely better than phase 1, but I still don't really love this boss that much either. Perfect Dark Gaia forms a shield around itself, and you have to reach to it while collecting rings to fill up your health gauge. Oh, and Chip's health gauge is there too. As soon as you reach Dark Gaia's destination, Chip breaks through the shield and goes one-on-one with Dark Gaia, while simultaneously Sonic has to boost through Dark Gaia's tentacles one by one while dodging the meteors. The reason why I'm not much of a fan of this boss is because the meteors can be so frustrating to dodge, and you have to keep an eye on for both Sonic and Chip's health bars, because if Chip dies, you die with him, which makes this boss even harder. And after you hit all of Perfect Dark Gaia's tentacles, the shield will deactivate and you perform QTEs to finish off Perfect Dark Gaia. And that's the end of the final boss. And after that, the world is restored and everyone celebrates. Then Chip is now a ghost and tells Sonic that he has to live. And Chip fades away and Gaia Colossus throws Sonic back to the Earth. And basically the game ends where it starts, where Sonic lands back to Apodos and finds Chip's bracelet on the ground. And he hears Chip's voice telling him that he'll always be by Sonic's side. Sonic then puts on the bracelet, thinks about what Chip has said to him, he smiles, and he runs off with Tails. This has to be the most satisfying ending to any Sonic game, while being a very bittersweet one too, as Chip dies, which is very emotional. Sonic could have just moped around and become depressed over the loss of Chip, but instead he made it into something positive, and keeps on running and doesn't look back. I really love the wholesome dynamic between Sonic and Chip in this game, and you got the song Endless Possibility playing as the end credits song, and it's the perfect way to end off the game. And Endless Possibility has to be one of, if not my all-time favorite Sonic song. It's just so incredible. It's pretty sad that this game had a very low reception when it was first released, most likely due to the Werehog segments, which I guess kind of explains why Sega hasn't remastered Unleashed. But you gotta give credit where credit is due, because the writing, the graphics, the music, level design is just incredible. I had such a great time playing Sonic Unleashed, giving this game a 9 out of 10. This game is fantastic and deserves so much better. Now before I end the video, I actually have a quick announcement I'd like to share with you. With the Nintendo Switch 2 coming right around the corner and the amount of content that's going to be made by other creators once it releases, I really want to jump on the Switch 2 wagon too with providing content, but more than just making review videos on YouTube. So with that being said, I will potentially be streaming on Twitch once I get my hands on the Switch 2. So if you want to watch me on Twitch, the link will be in the description below at twitch.tv/RetroplexLive, and hit the follow button and the bell icon so you'll get notified when I go live. Hope to see you there, and that's all I got for today. Till next time, bye bye.